Hey guys, I would have loved to come to y'all with some good news, but unfortunately, I cannot do that today. I can't do it today because today has been such a crazy day, and I know y'all like, damn, there's more shit with Sabrina than there's been in the whole time she been doing YouTube videos. So, but yeah, today was on top of everything else. Today was just crazy, 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 crazy. So I'm gonna give y'all guys a quick rundown of what happened to me today because it's so bizarre that y'all gonna be like, what? Okay, so you guys already know that my uncle passed. Y'all already know he died a few days ago. And my aunt, she wants me to, basically participate on the arrangements or whatever. Now, I'm gonna tell you guys something. I own, keyword own, I own two cemetery plots. My mother is buried in one of those cemetery plots, and my uncle was supposed to be buried in the other one. So, now, first of all, my aunt picks me up from school. I told her that she wants me to go because she's paying for it, and I ain't got no problem with that because I ain't paying for it. Simple as that. I ain't paying for this. I ain't paying for this. So she says she's paying for it, but she has, in order for her to go get things taken care of at the cemetery, she has to. There's some other things along with the cemetery plot, with the casing and everything, and fees and stuff that goes with that. That the contract has to be written up, so she can use the plot. But I have to go with her because I'm the owner of the plot. So she picks me up from school. I'm like, okay, good, cool. We get in the car, and as soon as I get in the car, she already on the phone. Now, I get real nervous when I see people talking on the phone and trying to drive and texting and driving. That stuff pretty much scares me. I don't like to do it. I mean, I don't drive, but I don't even like to text and walk my ass down the street. So I'm in the car freaking out because all these phone people keep calling her, and then she trying to pull over, and it's just crazy. So the whole time I'm driving, and she drives slow as hell. But anyway, she's in the car, and she's talking to other people, telling me about who coming, who she know, her high school friends and all that. And I'm like, okay, I really don't care. But anyway, so we get to the cemetery. Now, first things first, she says that if it's too expensive to bury him, she's going to have him cremated. I'm like, it's whatever. I don't care. But, hey, it is whatever it is that you can afford. But, she's the type of person where if it was on your dollar, basically the sky's the limit. And if it's on her dollar, the limit's the sky. I can't spend all that money, because I don't want to be in debt and all that. And I understand that. I totally get that. So don't fake the funk. Don't try to do something that you can't handle. So I'm like, I'm trying to help you out by giving you the cemetery plots or whatever. So we get to the cemetery and we sit down. We sit down and we talking to the counselor, the lady that we doing a consultation with about the cemetery plot. So I hand her over the deed because I have the deed, you know, to the plots of the location of the plots. And she pulls out, well, she looks at the plot. She looks at the deed, and we tell her that we're trying to bury my uncle in the plot on top of my mother, in the next plot above my mother. So she takes a look at the she takes a look at the deed, and she looks at us, and then she says, "Can you excuse me for a minute?" That's what she says. So she leaves the room. Me and my aunt are like, "What the heck is going on? She comes back. She comes to tell me. She said, "Oh no, are you getting another plot from Catholic Charities or something like that? Wherever this is, whoever, I know who Catholic Charities is, but she asked me, was I getting a plot from them? And I said, no, why would you ask me that? And she says, because your mother is buried in one of their plots. And I'm like, okay, no. Uh-uh. Now, actually, somebody else actually gave me two plots. So now I own two plots. But it wasn't Catholic Charities. It wasn't Catholic Charities. And I'm looking like, no. Um, and then she told me that the location that's on the deed is not the same location at that basically where she is. Basically, they're telling me that where I thought my mother was supposed to be buried, well, actually what's on the deed is not where my mother is buried. She's buried somewhere else. And if you look at the deed, if you was to look at the deed, the way the plots are set up, it doesn't look like it's like anywhere. Like basically this is what happened. When me and my sister went to the funeral home and we went to go talk about my mother's funeral arrangements. We showed them the deed and they actually walked us out to the cemetery, to the grass, and showed us where she would be buried and said this is the spot. So we're assuming, okay, and she's buried there. She's buried in that spot. So now I'm like, okay, what's going on? And but hold up, I'm gonna be right back. Okay, what we tried to do after that, after talking to her, I was like, okay, well, can you at least tell me, is the person that signed the bottom of this contract, are they still working here? She says, no, they no longer work here. So I'm like, okay, the guy that I talked to when I buried my mother, he no longer works here. And then that makes me think, why is he no longer working here? Because that was the guy that showed us where the plot was. And now he's no longer working there. And it's been, okay, it's like 5 years. So why? And then they're like, oh, he's retired. I'm like, okay, well, are you sure you guys didn't fire him? Because he was misplacing people where they weren't supposed to be? That could be a possibility. So basically, she's not buried where she's supposed to be. And they tell me to look on the bright side and tell me, basically, look on the bright side. Now you have two empty plots. And I'm like, bright side? Bright side, so now I'm just like, I'm looking at the lady real crazy like, okay, lady, that's supposed to be the bright side. That now I have two empty plots where two full bodies can go into. Okay, I don't really see no, of course, I never planned on having any plots left after today. I really didn't. I didn't plan on having any plots left after today. My mother was supposed to be buried in one. My uncle was supposed to be buried in the other. And I was supposed to be done with it. And that's it. Now I come to find out that my aunt says that she no longer wants to bury him because the price is too high. So now she's leaning towards cremation. So now I have two empty plots. Me going down there, I'm glad. It's not like going down there today was a waste of my time because I did find out that my mother's not buried where she's supposed to be. But at the same time, I didn't need to go because my mother's not buried in the plot she's supposed to be buried in, and my uncle is going to be cremated. So, but I'm just like, this is crazy. You always hear about the stories about cemeteries displacing and misplacing bodies and misplacing documents and stuff like that. And now the place where I thought my mother was supposed to be buried, she's not there. She is there. She is in a plot, and she does have a plaque on her, her gravestone, her the bronze gravestone. She has that. But forgot one more thing. She is in a plot that is double down. Like it's double depth, which means another person can be buried on top of her. Now I don't own that. I don't own those plots. The plots that she's buried in, I don't own those. Those are owned by Catholic Charities, which means that any stranger can be buried on top of my mother. And I'm like, are you kidding me? You really expect me to think that there's a bright side to this story? Because I really don't see too much of a bright side to it. I mean, she's buried. So then when I asked them, okay, can she be moved? And they said, yes, she can be moved, but there is a charge if she is moved. And they neglected to tell me what the charge was, because I'm assuming that is a very, very high charge to exhume a body and then move it to, another spot. So at this point, I haven't told my sister yet. Maybe she'll see this video before I tell her, because I can't get in touch with her right now because I just got back from the cemetery. But I am going to try. She lives like right around the corner from me, so I'm gonna go to her house and tell her what's going on. Now, I take things a little bit easier than she will. I'm pretty sure because she's the younger sister, she's gonna really be upset, and I don't know what she's gonna do. I'm not sure. I mean, because my thing is this: they basically, they basically tried to get me to sign this paper while I was down there. It's crazy. They actually tried to get me to sign this paper stating that Catholic Charities, that I basically give permission after the fact. After the fact now that I know that my mother's in a plot by Catholic Charities. Now that's on the, it's already on the receipt, but at the same time, I don't understand why they would put that on the receipt. And I don't understand why the plots are not matching up. And I don't read the geographical locations um of cemeteries. I don't read that stuff. I don't know how it's read. So basically they could have wrote anything down on that paper and then just took me to the spot, and that would be it. I don't know the geographical location, so how would I obviously know that the place she was buried was the location on my lease? And it doesn't say so. So I mean, right now, it is what it is. But all I know is that this is some crazy mess. When you go, and then the thing about it is, I would have never known. I would have never known. And my uncle didn't die, and we had plans to go put him in the second plot. I would have never found out that my mother is not even in the first plot. So that's pretty much been the eventful day that I've had today. But this is just some crazy stuff, y'all. Some really crazy stuff. So I'm gonna holler at you later. Hopefully after this funeral and after everything is over. But I'm just trying to, get my head straight about this and figure out what's going on. Because I wasn't signing any papers. I wasn't signing anything. Because that's basically like me saying that they messed up and me saying it's okay. And I'm not signing. I told them I refuse to sign those papers, so I'm not. And they didn't have a problem with me not refusing to sign them, which, it's a little crazy on that note. So, but I will holler at you guys later. Hopefully nothing else crazy happens. So, peace out, y'all.